Mathew Hussey is a true Stoic when it comes to handling rejection.
When this person that we hold in high esteem rejects us, it can be really painful.
The last Stoic secret we reveal from Mathew Hussey will perhaps make the door that has been forcefully closed in your face the best outcome imaginable. Rejection is an inevitable part of life, at least for the Stoics. They believe that human beings are subject to rejection at some point in their lives. It comes in various forms, whether it's during a romantic relationship, losing a lucrative job, or failing at a task. But then rejection is not just about failure, but an opportunity for growth and resilience. How is this possible? First things first, you must understand that rejection is complex, more complex than you think. Mathew Hussey paints a clearer picture of the complexity of rejection. Imagine yourself, a man of stature, approaching a woman for a romantic relationship. You're standing tall at 5'7", with successful business in your name. You're confident she'll say yes because you're supposed to be the man of her dreams. One day, you plan the perfect date, hoping you'll have a promising future with her. Confident she'll say yes, you go down on one knee and pop the question. Alas, her response is far from what you expect. It's a resounding no because she doesn't like you enough to do life with you. Her response is negative because she'd rather be with someone else. Does this rejection change the fact that you have a successful business? Of course not. Does it decrease your height by an inch? Certainly not. But here's the thing. People have different reasons for rejection. It is not a judgment of your worth. Perhaps she carries scars from previous relationships. Maybe she isn't ready to get into a relationship. People get depressed after a rejection because their insecurities fight against their self-worth. Your mind starts to wander around. It tells you that you're not qualified for the role, or not worth it. But Hussey has some words of wisdom for you. He argues that it is unfair to make your insecurity the entire story. There's another side of the story you don't know, and that's all that matters. So many factors have led to that moment, and it's not your fault. It's also not your duty to fight for acceptance. And even if you do, you could still be the wrong person. After accepting that rejection is complex, what's your next move? We take a cue from the Stoic playbook, which says you remain calm. When you get rejected, it's normal to feel frustrated or sad, but the Stoics discourage this. They advocate that you embrace a thoughtful response to every situation. The rule doesn't say you should suppress your feelings. Instead, you shouldn't allow them to control you. Take a step back and ask, why are you bothered? Often it is not the rejection that hurts, but your insecurities. Here are two simple ways out of it. First, take a deep breath. Next is to reflect on why. Finally, focus on your actions and responses. Reflection helps you understand that your self-worth is not tied to people's approval. It's not easy to stay calm in the face of rejection. However, it is a testament to your growth. Speaking of your growth, you can overcome rejection by demonstrating your value. Actions speak louder than words, especially when attracting the right people. There's no such thing as rejection. There's only an event and an interpretation. We choose what that event means. Over 2,000 years ago, Epictetus wrote about a man who was thrown into a prison cell. But then, he said something. Some friends describe it as a mere situation, while others said he had terrible luck. In other words, the responses were based on perception. If the prisoner considered himself a free man, he was truly free. When rejection comes knocking, do not allow in self-pity. Remember that your existence is external and outside of your control. So what do you do in this situation? If you've been rejected by your dream company or overlooked for a promotion, take a deep breath and summon the courage to rise above the ashes. Self-pity and bitterness would not get you out of your present situation. Instead, it makes things worse. As you leave that office, be determined to channel your energy into action. If you were rejected at a job, expand your skill set so that you're irresistible at the next job interview. Additionally, work on a new project that highlights your skills. Even though you have been rejected, it doesn't diminish your value. It is an opportunity to shine brighter. Do you remember the old saying, when one door closes, another opens? This is true only for those who see beyond their present situation. What if you are not destined to work for that company? What if the universe has something better for you? The last chapter of your life closes after a rejection. Now that a new one is open, demonstrate your value by elevating your strengths. Identifying your strengths helps you bounce back. And no, it's not about faking a smile. It's about embracing your emotions and getting the job done. And so Hussey asks, am I doing things each day that add to my sense of value? I should also add, or am I still sulking over a blatant no? Ask yourself daily, am I doing things each day that add to my sense of value? Am I being more and more of the person that I want to be? Demonstrate so much value until you stand tall. That way, you're proud of yourself and not looking for commendation from outsiders. Top of form. Mathew Hussey shares another secret to using rejection in your favor. Yes, it is counterintuitive, but it will transform how you view rejection. Rich Roll is a successful athlete, podcast host, and motivational speaker. However, it has not always been that way. Before fame, he grappled with alcoholism. He was depressed because it felt like his friends were overtaking him. They were hitting new milestones and going places. But then he was stuck in never-ending AA meetings. As frustrating as this was, he made the best of his time there. Besides achieving sobriety, he built confidence at the meetings. This laid the foundation for his future success. This brings me to a famous Stoic saying, that there's no prize for doing things first. The only thing that matters is doing them well. This mantra is helpful, especially in this era where people are obsessed with speed, but it will never end well if you don't know what, how, and why you do it. You see, setbacks sometimes feel like roadblocks, but they're not. Instead, it is a delay tactic on your path to self-discovery. Unfortunately, temporary rejection discourages people from taking small steps. When rejection happens, don't give up just yet. Hussey says you should continue making moves even when the world is working against you. You may not be noticed immediately, but you're not left behind like you think. The person you think is so successful has dealt with 1,001 rejections. The difference is that they continue to move slowly. One way to do that is to proactively work on yourself in ways no one else can see. Slowly, you begin to attract someone who sees the value in you. From there, they crave a long-lasting relationship with you. Here's one secret many overlook. Success is not about attracting hundreds of people. It's about becoming a valuable person and finding one who sees the greatness within you. From one connection, this number multiplies to 2, 10, a dozen, hundreds, and so much more. If you found this video helpful, I have some great news for you. Earlier, I shared Tim Ferriss's mind-blowing tips to start your day like a Stoic. These simple Stoic hacks helped him become the successful person he is today. If you want to know the best ways to take your productivity to the next level, then you gotta click on this link now. Trust me, you won't regret it.